In this video, we'll be installing the Visual Studio, which is the IDE that can uh, use it to write the C# code and run directory. So search the Visual Studio like this and click on this downloads. And here we can see different editions. You need to download this community edition, and after downloading that, you need to open this and you will get the image like this. So I don't have this installer now. After that, click on continue, and then here in this workloads you need to choose this .NET desktop development. So this will include all the required components that can be used to compile our code. It's gonna take some time because it is very large in size. So after that, click on install and open the Visual Studio. You will get the screen like this, and here we can see we can clone the code, open a project or solution, open a local folder and create the new project. So we will be clicking this one, create new project, and here we can see there are a lot of options which type of project we want to create. So search in like this .NET framework, and here we can see some form apps, and you can see the console app .NET framework. So this is what we want to create. So click on next and give the project a name. So let's say introduction, and you can also change the location if you want. By default is username, source, repos, and now click on create. And now we will be presenting the screen, and here you can see this is the program.cs. So the extension is the .cs, and here we can see some namespaces. This is the namespace using, so we are using some namespaces. In this namespace, if you hold control and click on this one, okay, I think so we can click on functions, I think. So these namespaces contain some classes. So these classes are like a blueprint of some model. So if you think of a 4-vehicle car, you can build a class like this, class car. So you can define number of seats, number of wheels, engine details, etc. So this is the class car, and you can create the objects from it. Objects are what are like that are derived from the class. So suppose from the car can be of any type. So it can be BMW car, Benz car. The difference is that BMW and Benz have different properties. So these properties varies among the objects, but those both cars belong to the class car. So if you are confusing, don't worry, we will be covering the OOPS concepts later. And you can see the IDE file. You can click on the file tab. You will get the similar window we have seen earlier. And edit, you can go to, you can see all of these and we will not be using most of these options here. We'll be using the debug windows, so we'll be using only a few of these options. So here you can see the first few lines consists of, we are using some namespaces. So system, in this system it contains core operations like printing, taking input, the data types, etc. So for now we don't need any of this. We can delete this as well, but just we can leave it there. And here you can see the namespace introduction. So this introduction is my namespace. I have defined this, and I can add another class here as well. So namespaces are like the divisions of divisions of some similar type of code. You can think you can like you can code like databases database code, and you can put that all code into one namespace, say database namespace. After you come back after like 2 or 3 months, if you look at the namespace databases, then you can get idea that this database namespace consists of database classes and the database code. So that way is like it's like dividing the code into some neat format. And this introduction namespace, you can use this into another program using introduction, so which we have used it using system. Similarly, we can use using introduction, and we can use this program class to access their members. So the class is like a blueprint, I have just said. So it defines how the class should be, and what we are going to do is creating the objects from this class. So we'll be doing that later. First let's come to the main function. So this is called a function main. So this the program execution starts at the first instruction of the main function. The static keyword is used for the main function. So this class can contain only one main function. So every class should not contain more than one main function. So the static is like a shared among all the objects, or you can think it as it is only one copy, and that copy belongs to this program. And the void is this function is not returning any type. So what is this function return type means? Think of it as like you are telling your colleague to do a work, and after that colleague has done work, you will be receiving the output. So what the output of the work done by your colleague, so that output can be considered as the function return type. So this function can be treated as colleague. So whenever I say do this work to colleague, the colleague does all the work, and at last the colleague returns something, that is the output of my work. So that is called return type. The output can be of any type. The output can be string, number, etc. So here it means void. So that means our main function has done something but did not return anything. In our scenario, it's like we are telling our colleague to do work, and we are just going to our home, and we are not caring about the output. So the main function, so these arguments are like command line arguments. You should have seen when you are writing, giving the arguments to the tools. You give the nmap, sv, sn, etc. So those are called command line arguments. We can pass those command line arguments and get the value from the command line. So these are helpful to dynamically execute code. So let's go and write some code that is printing hello world. So we can do that using console class. We have the write line. In this we can press something to print hello world. So these, and at the end of every line you need to put the semicolon, because that's the syntax, and output will be hello world. So let's go and run this. Click on the start, and here you can see our program has been run and exited, but we cannot see the output because it completed just the execution. To stop the execution, we can say console dot read key. So what this does is it will expect any key pressed on the keyboard, and after that it will exit the program. So you can also go and build the solution. So it's always a good thing to build the solution without running, because it will give you the errors your program has. So let's go and start this, and here you can see the hello world string, and now it is waiting for the user input. When I just tap the key, it exits. So this is a good way to stop the program at the end to see what our code has been executed. So you may heard about the hello world program in Java and hello world program in C++, etc. So this hello world program is like kinda testing our environment setup, whether our environment was set up correctly to execute programs or not. In our case, since we got the hello world output, so that means our program environment has been successfully set up. We can start writing our code. Now here you can see this stop button, stop debugging. So this entire Visual Studio has a debugger, and that will run our programs. So stop this one, and we have successfully executed hello world program.